All right, good morning, South Mississippi. This is Meteorologist Aaron Colby. Let's talk about today's forecast. We have a lot of different things going on. It's going to be really hot once again. We do have the potential for some scattered showers and storms, and we are going to take a look at what's going on out in the tropics, things staying still fairly inactive, but we do now have a spot to watch, and the good news is that that is not coming towards the U.S. That is not a threat, and there's also a very low chance of development. So I'll go through all of those details once we get there, but here's the Hancock Whitney camera over in Gulfport. Things have been very nice this morning, and once again, just like yesterday, starting off with the mostly clear skies across most of South Mississippi, and we can still see there in the corner of the shot, we do have some of those cumulus clouds starting to build up. With that, a couple scattered showers and storms can't be ruled out, mainly in the afternoon hours, but you can see some of them already getting going in the offshore areas. Let's go ahead and move into the actual forecast here. It's currently 83 degrees at the Gulfport airports, and what we have been seeing throughout most of the day is that northeast wind at about 5 miles per hour. But look at the feels like that's also the heat index there on that bottom row. It is already 90 out there. It's going to be very, very hot today. Temperatures across South Mississippi. As of right now, most of us now in the 80s, some spots even making their way up into the mid to upper 80s. Biloxi and Moss Point currently at 85 as of right now at 9:03 in the morning. And most of us will be in about the low 90s as we move into the afternoon hours. We will be seeing the potential for a little bit more cloud cover. Some of those showers and storms may help us cool back down, especially during the afternoon hours. But especially if you don't see any rain today, or if you don't see rain until late in the afternoon, you will still be dealing with that heat index well up into the hundreds, 100 to about 105. Some spots maybe even just a little bit higher than that. So we'll have to keep that in mind going into the afternoon hours. If you're spending lots of time outdoors, you need to stay hydrated. Make sure you get back indoors, take breaks whenever you need to. But let's look at the radar out there right now. Things all clear across South Mississippi. We're still seeing those clear skies, no showers. Even the offshore ones are far enough away that we cannot see them within the sound as of right now. And looking at the bigger picture, we have continued to be tracking this high pressure system. This is the same system you may have heard about, especially on social media, bringing this very large heat wave to the eastern half of the country. And yeah, we're going to be seeing those higher temperatures, but we are still fairly close, and if not slightly above average for this time of year, at least here in South Mississippi. What's really going to get us is the humidity and the heat index. That is what's going to be very high as we move into the rest of today and into the early parts of the week. Heat index forecast for today, of course, this is right now already feeling like we're close to 100 in some spots here within about the next hour or two. Going into the afternoon, well, that's where things really do heat up. Heat index above 100, some spots maybe even slightly above 105. And you can see there, Futurecast is trying to pinpoint when and where some of those showers may cool things down. You can see like Loosedale showing a forecast of 86 there. That is completely dependent on if and when those showers or storms do show up. So I just keep that in mind as we roll through this forecast. Going into the evening hours, even well into the evening, about 7, 8 o'clock, it's still feeling like we're in the low 100s to upper 90s across the area. Heat index threats, of course, with the high heat index between 100 and 107. There is the extreme caution for things like heat stress, cramps, or heat exhaustion, especially if you're not taking the proper precautions. You need to stay hydrated, not while you're outside, but even before. If you are not drinking any water prior to being outdoors, well, then it's already going to be too late. You will be susceptible to things like heat exhaustion. So make sure that you're drinking plenty of water, staying hydrated well before you're out there. And if you're out there for a long time, make sure you give yourself plenty of breaks. Get back in the shade, get back in the air conditioning whenever able to. Looking at Futurecast for today and tomorrow, we once again do have the potential to pick up a couple scattered showers and storms. They do become a little bit more numerous across the area, especially as we move towards the mid-afternoon hours by about 3, 4 o'clock. Some of us could be seeing At least a few of those storms now, just like the past several days, a few of them could become strong. With at least some of these storms, we could be looking at very small hail, maybe some gusty winds, and the potential for very frequent lightning with some of these summertime storms. So you definitely want to be keeping an eye out for that. If you have plans, maybe don't leave the umbrella too far away, but also bring plenty of water for the heat as well. Moving into tomorrow, Monday, starting off your work week, we could catch a few scattered showers or storms even as early as the late morning hours, but moving into the afternoon is when it does become a lot more likely, and does look like the chance of rain, or at least the chance of catching some of those showers or storms will be a little bit higher as you go into tomorrow afternoon when compared to today. Looking at the rain chance forecast, though, we will start to see that decrease in rain chances. Very similar to the past few days, you're going to be seeing the potential for those summertime pop-up storms is still there. However, we don't have much else going on to enhance that activity, just like we have the past at least week or two now. So we'll kind of move back into that normal summer pattern, pop-up storms here or there, but for the most part, not very many of them. And looking at the dew point trend as well, it's going to stay very muggy the next several days as well. Dew points in the 70s for pretty much the next 5 days. Thursday or Friday, maybe we start to see a little bit of a trend back down towards the lower 70s, but still in that very muggy territory. Now, if you're heading out to the islands this week, a pretty nice week to get out there. Just keep in mind Monday, Tuesday, the higher chance of catching those afternoon showers or storms for our offshore areas. And temperature-wise, looking pretty similar to on the coast, or at least on inland areas, I should say, with a high temperature close to 90 degrees, but the heat index, especially with the water out there, not going to feel as bad. Now, looking at the tropics, we do have a couple things to talk about. So now, the activity in the tropics still expected to remain fairly inactive for at least the next 7 to 10 days, but we do have one spot to look at out there in the central Atlantic. There is a low chance of development that the National Hurricane Center is watching, and it is going to be this cluster of showers and storms showing up on our satellites. You can see a very weak low pressure system drifting through about that central Atlantic there. We're going to just keep an eye on it. Once again, it's a very low chance of development, and there is no threats to the U.S. from this. This will continue to move off to the east. So good news is that tropics overall still staying fairly inactive. This low chance of development is out in the middle of the Atlantic and is not heading towards the U.S. 7-day forecast looks like this. We are going to be seeing those very hot conditions across South Mississippi, especially as we go through the next at least 5 to 7 days. Looking very hot. Rain chances a little bit on the lower side, but each afternoon we still have the chance of catching those showers or storms. And then morning temperatures do turn pretty muggy. We will be still waking up in about the mid to lower 70s each day.